Every morning is a gift, and the moment your eyes open, you're handed 24 hours that can either repeat your old life or build a new one. The difference is not luck. It's how you train your mind in the first moments of the day. Your mind is a garden. If you don't water it, weeds grow fast. Doubt, fear, laziness, anxiety, and before you know it, you're reacting to life instead of leading it. But if you cultivate it every morning, you build strength, clarity, and vision that don't break when pressure shows up. Today, I'm giving you 6 life lessons, 6 morning habits that shape your mind so you wake up with resilience, creativity, and unstoppable energy. Most people wake up and instantly grab their phone, notifications, messages, trending topics, and within seconds, their mind is already in someone else's world. They start the day reacting, letting external noise decide their mood, their confidence, their focus, their direction. But the moment you wake up is the most powerful part of your day. Before the world starts talking, your mind is fresh, open, unshaped, and whatever you feed it in those first minutes becomes the lens through which you see everything after. If you start your day without awareness and gratitude, you give your power away, distraction runs your mind, negativity takes over, unconscious habits drive your choices. But if you train yourself to begin with gratitude and awareness, you become hard to shake, you carry calm into chaos, you carry focus into noise, you carry clarity into confusion. Gratitude is the foundation, not a polite thought, not a cute quote. It's a conscious act that rewires your brain to see possibilities instead of obstacles. When you wake up and say, I'm alive, I have another day to improve, to create, to learn, something shifts. Your mind moves from scarcity to abundance. You start noticing doors instead of walls. This isn't just philosophy, it's biology. Gratitude activates parts of your brain that support motivation, focus, and a steady, positive state. Every morning you practice it. You train your system to operate at a higher level. Then comes awareness. Awareness is the mirror. It's noticing what's happening inside you before the day starts dragging you everywhere. Are you tense, relaxed, calm, irritated, energized, sluggish, confident, worried? Awareness gives you options. Without it, you drift. With it, you choose. People underestimate how much the first 30 minutes decide the rest of the day. If you start with worry, complaints, and panic, you'll filter everything through that fog. But if you start with calm, gratitude, and clarity, even challenges feel lighter because your mind is not fighting itself. Imagine 2 people waking up at the same time. One grabs the phone, sees bad news, messages, bills, pressure, and their day already feels heavy. The other sits up, breathes, and says, I'm grateful for this morning. I'm grateful for a chance to grow. I'm grateful for my health, my mind, my ability to act. Same world, different mind, different day, different outcomes. So here's the simplest practice. As soon as you wake up, sit still for 2 or 3 minutes. Close your eyes, take deep breaths, acknowledge 3 things you're grateful for, then scan your body and your thoughts, notice tension, notice negative loops, and bring your focus back to your breathing. You repeat this daily, and you build a mental baseline that is harder for life to knock over. That's lesson 1, gratitude and awareness, because if you control the start, you control the tone. Lesson 2 is feeding your mind, because your mind doesn't stay empty. If you don't fill it, the world will fill it for you. And most of what the world feeds you is noise, drama, comparison, gossip, fear, shallow entertainment that leaves you mentally hungry. Feeding your mind is not collecting random information. It's choosing what enters your thoughts, what shapes your beliefs, what sharpens your thinking. Every morning your mind is fresh, like a clean page. What you write on it matters. Curiosity is the engine here. A curious mind asks why, it explores, it connects dots, it notices opportunities where others see problems. Curiosity keeps you growing because you stop living on autopilot. Think about 2 people again. One wakes up and scrolls entertainment for 30 minutes. The other reads a few pages, listens to a short lesson, studies a skill, reflects on a meaningful idea. Small difference, massive outcome over time, because learning compounds. Your mind is a field. Every thought you plant becomes either a weed or a seed. When you feed your mind with knowledge, you plant seeds, new ideas, new skills, new perspectives, and those seeds grow into decisions, habits, confidence, and opportunity. You don't need to learn everything. You need consistency. 5 pages a day, 10 minutes of a useful podcast, 1 short lesson, 1 new idea, One skill practice, the discipline matters more than the duration. Lesson 3 is training your mind to solve problems instead of complaining. Because complaining feels natural, but it weakens you. It drains energy. It reinforces helplessness. It turns your brain into a factory that produces excuses. A strong mind treats problems like puzzles. Instead of, why is this happening to me? It asks, what can I do? What can I change? What's the next step? What's the lesson here? Complaining is easy. Problem solving is power. Every morning you can practice the switch by asking yourself one question. What is one problem I have right now? And what is one action I can take today to improve it? Not fix everything, just improve. Accountability is part of this. Problem solvers focus on what they can control. They don't waste their life fighting what they cannot. They don't live in blame. They live in action. Start small. When something annoys you in the morning, traffic, a delay, a mistake, train your brain to move from reaction to solution. What can I do next? What's the smartest response? This is how you build emotional strength in real life. Lesson 4 is affirming your vision and setting intentions. Because if you don't decide what matters, the day will decide for you. You'll spend hours being busy and end the day feeling empty because activity isn't progress. Intentions give your mind a filter. They tell your brain what to notice, what to prioritize, what to ignore. Without intentions, distractions look important, interruptions feel urgent, and you end up living other people's agenda. Every morning, take a few minutes to remember the bigger picture. Who are you becoming? What are you building? What matters this year? Then choose 3 intentions. One for your mindset, one for your work, one for your behavior. You can say it simply, today I will act with discipline. Today I will protect my focus. Today I will move one step toward my goal, not as a quote, as a commitment. Lesson 5 is embracing challenges and uncertainty, because growth lives there. Comfort is a liar. Comfort says stay the same, stay safe, don't risk, don't fail. And while you're comfortable, your potential shrinks. Uncertainty is not a sign you're doing it wrong. It's a sign you're growing. The people who win aren't the ones with perfect clarity. They're the ones who can move without it. They act, they adjust, they learn, they keep going. Every morning you can rehearse courage by asking, what's one uncomfortable thing I should do today that will make me stronger? It could be a difficult conversation, a new skill, a bold decision, a focused work session, something you've been avoiding. When you face discomfort daily, confidence becomes a result. You prove to yourself that you can handle life. That's real strength. Lesson 6 is reflection and preparation, because the mind that never reflects repeats the same life. Reflection is how you turn experience into wisdom. It's how you stop making the same mistakes in new outfits. Each morning take 5 to 10 minutes and ask, what worked yesterday? What didn't? What wasted time? What moved me forward? What do I need to do differently today? This isn't self-criticism, it's self-leadership. Reflection turns your life into a feedback loop that makes you sharper week by week. When you reflect and then prepare, you stop drifting, you become strategic, you act with clarity, you choose with intention, you improve continuously without needing motivation to rescue you. So now you have the 6 morning lessons: gratitude and awareness, feed your mind, focus on solutions, affirm your vision, embrace challenges, reflect and improve. None of this is complicated, but it is powerful because it's repeated, and what you repeat becomes your identity. Morning is a choice. You can drift into the day and let the world shape your mind. Or you can build your mind on purpose, thought by thought, habit by habit. Treat your mind like the most valuable asset you own. Protect it, feed it, challenge it, sharpen it, because the world will respect the strength of your mind before it notices anything else about you. Start tomorrow morning, start small, stay consistent, and you will become someone who can't be shaken by failure, someone who sees opportunity in chaos, someone who grows stronger and wiser with every sunrise. Every morning is a choice. And the reason this matters so much is simple. The first hour of your day becomes the blueprint for the next 12. If the blueprint is messy, rushed, and reactive, your whole day carries that same energy. But if the blueprint is calm, intentional, and focused, you start moving like someone who owns their life. Now let's go deeper. Because a lot of people hear morning routine and immediately think it has to be long, perfect, or aesthetic, like you need candles, journals, green juice, a 5 a.m. alarm, and a motivational playlist. That's not the point. The point is control. The point is training. The point is building a mind that doesn't collapse the moment life pushes back. So I'm going to take these 6 lessons and show you how they actually work in real life, with real mornings, with real stress, with real distractions. First, gratitude and awareness. Let's be honest. This one sounds simple until you try it on a hard day, because it's easy to be grateful when life is smooth. The real power is being grateful when life is heavy, because that's when gratitude becomes strength, not vibes. A lot of people wake up already upset. They remember something they didn't do yesterday. They remember money problems. They remember relationship stress. They remember responsibilities, and their brain starts producing pressure before they even touch the floor. And then they wonder why they feel drained by noon. Here's the shift. You don't deny your problems. You just refuse to start the day as a victim of them. You wake up and you say, I may not have everything I want yet, but I have breath, I have time, I have a mind, I have a chance to improve something today, even if it's small, and you hold that thought long enough for it to settle. Because gratitude doesn't mean your life is perfect. It means your mind is not blind. Then awareness. This is where you stop pretending you're fine and actually check in, because some mornings you're not okay. You're tense, you're anxious, you're irritated, you're tired, and if you ignore it, that emotion drives your behavior all day. You snap at people, you procrastinate, you scroll, you eat badly, you avoid important tasks, not because you're lazy, but because your mind is operating unconsciously. Awareness is you catching yourself early. You notice, I'm tense, I'm already rushing, my thoughts are negative, and instead of letting it run you, you slow down, you breathe, you reset. Even 30 seconds of breathing with awareness can stop a whole day from falling apart. Now the second lesson, feeding your mind, let's make this real. Most people feed their mind junk before breakfast. They open the phone and consume whatever shows up. Drama, jokes, comparison, gossip, negativity, random content. And then they wonder why their brain feels scattered. Your mind is not designed to be bombarded first thing in the morning. It's designed to be directed. So feeding your mind means you choose the input before the world chooses it for you. You don't need a long reading session. You need a deliberate one, even 10 minutes, a short chapter, a short lesson, a short video that teaches a useful skill, something that upgrades you. Because what you consume becomes what you think about, and what you think about becomes what you do. If you feed your mind discipline, strategy, health, skills, confidence, your day starts with structure. But if you feed your mind chaos, you start living in chaos. And here's the part people ignore. Curiosity is a weapon. A curious person doesn't get stuck forever, because when something breaks, they don't just complain. They ask, why did this happen? What can I learn? What's the next move? Curiosity keeps you moving when motivation disappears. Third lesson, solutions over complaints. This one changes everything, because complaining is addictive. It feels like doing something. It feels like release, but it's actually training your mind to stay powerless. A complaining mind always finds reasons. A solution mind always finds options. And you don't develop it by waiting for big problems. You develop it on the small ones. You spill something, instead of yelling, you clean it and move on. You get a delayed message, instead of spiraling, you adjust your plan. Something doesn't go your way, instead of blaming, you ask, what's the next best action? This is how you build mental muscles. And when real pressure comes, you don't fall apart because your mind has been practicing strength daily. And here's a powerful question to start your day with. What is the biggest problem I'm avoiding right now? And what is the smallest action I can take today that moves it forward, not fixes it completely, just moves it forward? That question turns your mind into a builder. Fourth lesson, affirming your vision and setting intentions. This is where you stop living like a person who wakes up and gets dragged, because most people don't plan their day. They just respond to it. And responsiveness makes you feel busy, but it doesn't make you feel proud. Intentions are not cute statements. They're directions. They tell your mind what matters. Without intention, you'll spend your best energy on low-value things, and then when it's time to do what matters, you're drained. So, every morning you set intentions like a leader, not like a passenger. You pick a main target, one thing that matters, one action that makes you better, one decision that protects your energy. And you can say it's simple. Today I will finish this one important task. Today I will protect my focus. Today I will act like the person I respect. This is how you stop drifting. Fifth lesson, embracing challenges and uncertainty. Most people want growth without discomfort. They want success without risk. They want confidence without effort. But confidence is built by doing hard things repeatedly, not by thinking about them. Uncertainty is not a sign to stop. It's a sign you're stepping into something bigger than your old life. The people who build strong lives aren't the ones with perfect certainty. They're the ones who move while uncertain. They apply for the job while nervous. They start the project while imperfect. They learn the skill while confused. They show up while not ready. And the act of showing up builds the readiness. So in the morning, you can train courage by choosing one uncomfortable action. Send the message, make the call, start the work session, practice the skill, do the workout, take the step you've been avoiding. This is the daily rep that builds a fearless mind. Sixth lesson, reflection and preparation. This is the habit that quietly separates people who level up from people who repeat the same year. Because if you never reflect, you repeat the same mistakes, the same patterns, the same excuses, and you call it life. Reflection is you asking, what did I do well yesterday? What did I do poorly? What drained me? What helped me? What must change today? Then, preparation is you deciding, what will I do differently? What will I focus on? What will I avoid? This is not journaling for aesthetics. This is leadership. This is you becoming your own coach. Now let me give you a simple, realistic, 6-lesson morning structure that works even if your life is busy, even if you wake up late sometimes, even if you're tired. When you wake up, before the phone, take 0 seconds, breathe. Name 3 things you're grateful for, then ask, how do I feel right now? That's lesson 1. Then take 10 minutes, read something useful, or listen to something that teaches you one idea, one lesson, one skill. That's lesson 2. Then pick one problem you'll solve today, not complain about, one action you'll take. That's lesson 3. Then set one clear intention, the main thing that matters today. That's lesson 4. Then choose one uncomfortable action you will not avoid today. That's lesson 5. Then take 2 minutes to reflect. What mattered yesterday? What changes today? That's lesson 6. That's it. No complicated routine, no perfection, just training. And here's the truth. If you do this consistently, your life changes quietly. Not because mornings are magical, but because you become the kind of person who doesn't start the day defeated. You start the day as the author. You start the day with control. You start the day with direction. And when you start like that, you walk different, you speak different, you choose different, you work different, you stop reacting like everyone else, and you start building like a person who's going somewhere. So tomorrow morning, don't aim for a perfect routine. Aim for a powerful one. Gratitude, awareness, learning, solutions, intentions, courage, reflection, repeat. Because over time, your morning stops being a part of your day and becomes the reason your whole life levels up. All right, let's lock this in properly. Because a strong ending is not about sounding dramatic. It's about making the message stick when the video ends and real life starts. Here's the truth most people never hear clearly enough. Your life does not change on big days. It changes on ordinary mornings. Not on the day you feel inspired. Not on the day everything goes right. But on the day you wake up tired, distracted, unmotivated, and still choose to train your mind anyway. That's why these 6 lessons matter so much. They don't require talent. They don't require luck. They don't require perfect conditions. They require consistency. Anyone can have one good morning. Very few people build a system of good mornings. And the people who do, quietly pull ahead. They think clearer under pressure. They recover faster from setbacks. They don't spiral when plans break. They don't wait for motivation to save them. They become mentally unshakable. So before I give you the challenge, let me say this clearly. If you do nothing with what you just heard, nothing changes. Knowledge without action is entertainment, not growth. You don't need more videos. You need implementation. That's why I want to give you a simple, realistic, 7-day challenge. No extremes, no perfection, just discipline. Here it is. Day 1. Awareness. Tomorrow morning, do nothing except notice. Notice how you wake up. Notice your first thought. Notice how fast you reach for your phone. No judgment, just awareness. That alone will shock you. Day 2, gratitude. Before touching your phone, name 3 things you're grateful for, not generic things, real things. Even if life feels heavy, especially then, train your mind to see strength before stress. Day dry. Feed your mind. Spend 10 minutes learning something useful. 1 idea, 1 skill, 1 insight. No scrolling, no multitasking, just intentional input. Day 4. Solutions. Pick 1 problem you've been avoiding and take the smallest action to move it forward. Not fix it, move it. Send the message. Open the document. Start the task. Train your mind to build, not complain. Day 5. Intention. Wake up and decide 1 thing that matters today. 1 priority. 1 non-negotiable action. Protect your energy around it. Day 6. Courage. Do 1 uncomfortable thing you've been postponing. The call, the workout, the conversation, the start. Courage is built in small reps, not big speeches. Day 7. Reflection. Spend 10 minutes looking back on the week. What changed? What felt different? What worked? What didn't? Decide what stays and what goes. That's it. 7 days. 6 lessons. 1 trained mind. If you do this, something subtle but powerful happens. You stop feeling like life is happening to you. You start feeling like you're shaping it. You won't become a different person overnight, but you'll become a more disciplined one, a clearer one, a calmer one. Because once your mind is trained, everything else becomes easier. Decisions, habits, focus, confidence, progress. So tomorrow morning, don't rush, don't scroll, don't surrender the first minutes of your day to noise. Build your mind first, because a strong morning creates a strong day. Strong days create strong years, and strong years create a strong life. Start tomorrow. Start imperfect, just start. And if this helped you, don't keep it to yourself.